Michiko and Hatchin episode 19, Nettlesome Light Blocking Butterfly. This was a really crazy episode because not only do we have like four of the really big characters coming together, but this episode had a ton of violence in it, and it really had Satoshii is like just insanely violent in this episode, which I didn't expect. I didn't think he was like super crazy violent. He's of course the boss, but this one really showed exactly how violent he was. And I finally remember her name, but Atsuko, and it's mostly because I just looked up the title. But Atsuko was in this episode, which I didn't really expect, and she had a really great moment at the end. I really loved her scene with the music playing, and she's crying because she's been in like this weird in between where she's like trying to get Michiko and then trying to help her, and this was like the final moment where she made the decision 100%. Like, I'm gonna help her escape, and I'm gonna help her take her daughter away and have them, get out of here. And that she kind of felt it, that she wasn't able to stop Michiko from going because, of course, she has to go and she's going to go save Hatchin. And there was nothing that she could really do about it, and that was pretty much it. So I love the ending scene with Atsuko. That was really cool. Satoshii in this episode, like I said, was just insanely violent. I didn't expect him to actually stab the first guy, so whatever he did to him, which I'm assuming he stabbed him, like, in his eye and stuff, so he messed that guy up, and then after he's, has the spiked drink or whatever, there's a bunch of people coming at him. He takes all of them down, and he locks one person up in a box, randomly shoots them just just to start, like, oh, then, forgot how much of a hair trigger this gun had, so shoots that person just as a warning, basically, to start things off, gets the info, and then kills that person just in a box. We don't know who that was, just one of the people, kills them. He's on the train that Michiko and Hatchin are on. Of course, he runs into Hatchin because she's kind of just going up and down the carts, runs into him, and Hatchin sees this guy, and of course she knows who he is. He's looking for Michiko, and that's just when it gets insane. And then that's not even the craziest part, because it's like, okay, we have Satoshii and Hatchin. He's kind of chasing her, and then she's going to eventually lead him to Michiko, because of course, as he said, like, you don't really have to tell me where she's at. She's going to run out of, car train eventually, just go in a straight line, and that's pretty much it. Then we have the other side where Atsuko is on the train as well, and she's talking with Michiko, and it's like, you're doing this and you're doing that, and they're arguing with each other and yelling and hitting each other and stuff. And then the other people come back into play. I can't remember what that skinny guy's name is. I don't even really care. I just don't like him as a character, because it's like, Satoshi's bad, obviously, because he's like this crime leader. And then we have the guy who's like the treacherous bad guy, so he's a traitor to the main villain already, and it's like, well, that just makes you even worse. And it's really just because he wants to be. Like, and he's done it before, because even in the first episode that they kind of premiere, he talks about, like, oh, I'm gonna give her this gun, that way, Satoshii will have a little surprise. And he's like, oh, he totally put you up to this and gave you that gun. And it's like, oh, he's always trying to do something, and it's like, it was just like, it just kept happening, and this was like the final straw. So I just don't like him in general as a person. It's entertaining, the issues that he causes, because of course that's what caused the train wreck, because he had his buddy go, which that guy had some balls on him, because I never would have done that, because I'm like, this thing isn't going to stop fast enough, and there's no way he survived that, the train hitting that truck. And so, that derails the whole thing. Everyone's just falling all over the place. Then we got, there are at least two cars, which Satoshii just took out with, like, pinpoint accuracy when he was, driving away. So it was like, boom, boom. He took them out, but there were a couple of other people as well. And they had to be careful. Like, they were basically going to kill everyone that was there, even though they were mostly after Satoshii. They were going to wipe everybody out. And it was just crazy. And then Satoshii and Hatchin have this deal where it's like, look, I'll take you to Hiroshi. You just have to leave Michiko alone. So he makes the deal. He steals Michiko's motorcycle, so she's running after them. She has her, her little handgun. And, I like this slow motion scene. He's just like, bang, and she, isn't able to get Hatchin. And so they're just driving off into the sunset. Michiko's chasing after them. Atsuko is kind of hurt because she couldn't save her friend after she finally made officially made the decision, like consciously and definitively, I guess, decided like I'm gonna help her, and she couldn't do it, and she's just back on the same path. Michiko is just going after Hatchin, which is just gonna lead her to Hiroshi and Satoshii. So I don't know how that's really gonna play out, and also Satoshi mentions when he sees Hatchin for the first time, and when she slams the door on his hand, he's like, I'm gonna definitely gonna kill your girlfriend, but I'm gonna kill you first. So I don't know why he's like hunting down Hiroshi, and maybe it's because he faked his own death and he kind of just left him because they were like best friends. But kind of as the guy mentioned before, like he used to be a part of Monster. He's like, I never believed that because the guy could hardly throw a punch. So he was never the gang type, and even Michiko knows that because we had that flashback when she was the one that kind of started the crazy war thing. Well, they thought she did because they thought she was the one that killed that one guy. So she was the one that did that, and it was because Hiroshi kind of didn't have the guts to do it. So we know that he's never really been like the gang person, even though he's been a part of the gang. So maybe that's why Satoshi is kind of looking for him, and that's why he wants to kill him because he's like, we were like best friends as kids, and we grew up together, and you saved my life when I was young. I think they were about to like chop his arm off or something crazy, whatever random game that was they were playing, and so they were like best friends ever since then. And then he fakes his death and like takes off and leaves Satoshi by himself, and maybe he's just hurt by that. Maybe that's why he wants to take him down. It's like he caused just more issues than he helped by kind of taking off. So we get like I think we only have like maybe 5 more episodes or something like that. The show is unfortunately coming to an end, but I don't think we even have 5. We might only have like 3 or 4 or something like that. But it's sadly coming to an end. But it's definitely been a fun ride. I'm enjoying. I really love the ending. This is probably my favorite ending for any episode. Like the music was good. The way they did it stylistically with Hatchin like just running, and at first she started off because just everything that just happened, you'll kind of be out of it a little bit. So she starts running and she's a little sloppy with it, and it's kind of clumsy. And then she kind of picks up speed and she's like fully determined, and she's just running basically through the desert, and she's just gonna try to get to her daughter and to the man that she loves and try to save both of them really. So that was really good. And then of course the Atsuko stuff was really good where she's just yelling and in tears and stuff. I was like, this is a really great scene for her characters, especially her character. Like it was good. Just the shot was good for Hatchin, just the way they had both of them looking. But for Atsuko, it was actually like just genuinely a really great scene. It wasn't like it just looked good. It was a scene that incorporated everything. Like it looked good, it sounded good, and character wise, it was actually a really good scene. Like Michiko is always determined to save Hatchin if she needs help. So, like that's nothing we haven't seen. It was just with the music playing and no real sound effects. It's just a powerful scene. But for Atsuko, it was like we've never seen emotion like that from her character. So it was really good. And that was just like years of just craziness with like one of her best friends. And it's sort of a lot of parallels between Atsuko and Michiko's relationship and Satoshi and Hiroshi's relationship, where it's like one kind of left the other. But um, in Michiko and Atsuko's case, Atsuko was the one that took off, and she's the one that's really hurt. And then in Satoshi and Hiroshi's case, it's Satoshi who's hurt. But definitely enjoyed this episode. I can't wait to see these last few. Sucks that it's almost done, but I have really enjoyed this show. It's definitely been one of a lot of comedy and a lot of good action as well. But overall, it's just been some really two very entertaining characters with a nice little supporting cast that have made things just crazy. Just a lot of different levels each episode. You never really know if it's going to be like a drama one or an action one or just a bunch of comedy. This one I think was mostly action and drama. I don't think there's really like no kind of jokes in this one. It wasn't exactly like a funny episode at all, but certainly an amazing one. Of course, I do want to know what you guys thought about it, so please comment below. Let me know your favorite parts, your least favorite parts, and I want to know, of course, what you guys thought of Atsuko's final scene, like the indie scene in general, starting with I guess starting with the bang when Satoshi like drives off with Hatchin on the back and they're just riding off into the sunset. Like after that, it was just like a lot of great stuff. Like it was all Michiko and Atsuko, and she's like, this is basically crazy. You're just gonna run out there with a gun and just get into another crazy firefight and probably die and this and that. And it was just like all a really good scene. Like all of that was really great. So I want to know what you guys thought about the final moments of this episode. So please comment below, let me know, and thanks for watching.